guys, welcome to Shama TV. We're shooting from the Dallas Digital Summit. I have with me right now Matt Wallert, who's a behavioral scientist for Microsoft Ventures. So thanks so much for being with us, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
So what is behavioral science? I mean, I feel like I've heard this word more now. It's become more buzzy. Obviously, those of us in marketing and business have a little more exposure to it. But what is behavioral science?
Well, so it can mean more than one thing. In my case, I'm a social psychologist. And what a social psychologist does is we tend to study, so rather than like abnormal psychology, we tend to study everyday people and how do they interact with the world. And I'm in a particular field called judgment and decision making, JDM. And so behavioral science starts to get at a field of professionals who are really looking at why people act in the world the way that they do. It's not about beliefs or perceptions as much, only to the extent that they translate to actual behaviors.
And is that a reasonable? Have you found that the answers are reasonable as to why people behave the way they do?
You know, one of the things you learn as a scientist is to abandon reasonable. It's not my job to judge people's behavior. It's my job to observe people's behavior and understand it.
So what applications does this have, sort of broadly speaking, in the business world?
So a specific process that's really about starting with the target behavior that you want to see in the world, and then working backwards towards interventions that change the pressures that produce those behaviors.
Got it. So if a company said, hey, we want more customers or we want more retention of these customers, then how do you kind of change that value experience?
So I even get more specific than that. Like, you know, we encourage people to write behavioral statements that are actually, you know, rather than using fuzzy words like retention, that say exactly what it is you want someone to do. A great example is like, let's pretend you're Uber. So if you're Uber, you want to say, when people want to go from point A to point B, and they live in a city, they will take an Uber, right? That's a great behavioral statement. It's measurable. It identifies who we're talking about, people in cities.
It changes a default, right? Or it kind of asks for a very specific
That's right.
outcome.
This is the way the world will look if I do my job.
Very interesting. So thank you so much, Matt. This is fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
We try to keep these short, taking your advice. Guys, be sure to subscribe per Matt's recommendation even, so you can get lots of more good stuff. We'll have links to Matt's work below. Subscribe, tune in. See you soon. Thanks again, Matt. Appreciate it.